Actually, I like that a little bit more than I thought I did.
She's banging it by the end of the meeting.
Exactly.
Again, if she keeps that, I'm moving over here.
All right. So, okay, great. Well, let's call to order tonight's meeting, the June 8th, 2026 Beechwood Independent School District School Board meeting.
Thank you. Mr. Burns?
Here.
Mr. Hood?
Here.
Mrs. Wood?
Here.
Thank you.
I don't think that we have any.
Contract's coming in July.
Contract is coming in July.
Mhm.
All right, so, moving on to our action agenda. So the first is, to take a motion to approve Bluegrass Risk Management as our property insurance provider.
We have to make a lot of motions and seconds tonight, Brad.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, would you like to share about that?
Nothing major, it's the same risk management, Bluegrass, they've been great. This year, we've seen not as dramatic of an increase in property insurance that we've seen over the past 5 years. It's slowed down, I think it's 3% overall.
Compared to 15 or
Yeah.
20
And so,
years.
Oh, wow,
they've been
that's
great,
good,
they're responsive, no issues.
great. Okay. We ready for a vote?
Ready, Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Wood?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our next item, which is superintendent evaluation standards. And so we need a motion to update the procedure to follow our resolution that was approved in August.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
That's just taking it from it's making sure that our procedure of how we evaluate aligns to what the policy states. And so those superintendent standards went from 7 down to 5. The ones that were in 6 and 7 got absorbed into the 5, and so we're just approving that procedure, and then at the end of today, we will go into close to look at that evaluation process, and Aaron will take us through that. We're going to do that in July.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Wood?
Yes. Okay. The next item is the first reading of the policy updates for the 26-27 school year. Do I need to read those?
I will
Okay.
go over those. I'll do a summary.
Okay.
There's a
Summary.
lot. There's
Can I have a motion?
166 pages worth of updates, so I'll distill it down to a brief,
Oh.
but you can do the motion prior to.
Yes, can I have a motion, please?
Go ahead, Kyle.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, great.
So I'll go brief because we have the whole month to look at them and dissect them. But this is just an overview. This will be our first read. We'll do the second in July. There were some proposed changes by KSBA, and we looked at those. We went through those and kind of distilled those down into impactful change, things we got to look at. And then there's some Beechwood recommended changes, not based on the past update we got from KSBA, but some changes we've kind of earmarked at some point throughout the year to say, hey, when we get policy updates, we're going to put these in. And so I'm going to go over the Beechwood proposed changes, and then I'll go over what KSBA has recommended as proposed changes. Then we'll have a month to talk about them. This just give you kind of an idea of what to look for when you go through them. And then we can decide, do we want to do a working session June 22nd and go into them deeper? Or does this overview along with the updates that you have attached, is that enough? So I will do a brief overview. One of the changes that we'd like to see is through certified and classified holidays and annual leave. There's some inconsistencies there where some people are getting holidays and some people aren't getting the same amount, but it's appropriate to get some equity there. There's some days that are a little off on annual leave days, so I'm going to take you through right now. So some changes we'd like to see, and they're in these proposed, is for all administrators who are salaried at 240 days, we would like to see 15 annual leave days. And then that's for administrators, that's anybody at 240 days or more, which is 240, they would get 15 annual leave annually. And then classified admin, and there's just a few of those, hired after July 1st of this year would also get the same 15. Right now, there's some people with 15, some people with 20, and some people with just 10. We're trying to get everybody right at 15.
Can you take back the
Uh,
people at 20?
We're not going to do that.
Okay, that's good.
Anybody hired after July 1 of 26, we're not going to take backward.
Okay, but
So
you would
this is for
truly current
future.
people.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
So going forward, July 1 of 26, anybody hired in those roles would have 15.
All right.
With that said, there is, because right now, all classified, non-admin, they're classified that can earn up to 15 over time, but they are, since they're not admin, they earn it based on a year's experience. So they'll start out with 5 annual leave days and they work to 10, and their max is 15. And so it's trying to get those aligned and more equitable across the board. So it's nothing drastic. And then the other one was, any non-administrative role that is 240 days a year, 220 days a year plus would get the 7 holidays. Right now, I believe they get 4 holidays, while everybody else at 220 plus, everybody else gets if you're working more than 220, they're getting 7 paid holidays. This is to get those other people that are also working 220 plus, those 7 paid holidays instead of the 4. So that's one we can think through and talk about as much as you want between now and July. The other one was, and did you touch base with Erin on the age?
I emailed her, you can ask now.
Good.
With the age of the substitute,
Yeah.
yes. It was sent to me today, and so I don't have a problem with it because there's not any administrative code that would prohibit it.
Great.
But I'd like to just survey my other districts before
Yeah.
July when we meet, and
Okay.
just to make sure. But the rationale makes a lot of sense.
What was
Got it. Okay, so this was anyone who's going to sub 7th grade and up. We want them to be 21. So if you have a certain amount of hours in college, you can start to sub when you're 20. So we're like, if a kid who's in the college of ed with the hours, and they want to go sub in kindergarten or 4th grade, and they're 25. I don't need a 20-year-old in senior English with 18, it's just, so we're just trying to create a gap for 7th grade through 12th grade.
Okay.
So,
Does that apply to many subs? Do we have any 18, 19-year-olds trying to sub?
we will see them come through the pipes,
Okay.
and we'll see a 20-year-old come in, like, I'm here to sub, or, we don't go up, we'll put you in with seniors or
Sure.
8th graders.
I just didn't know how common it is.
It's not super common, but it does happen.
Okay.
She's on the other side.
Then this has always occurred. This is just putting in policy, making it official. When someone puts in when an instructional staff puts in for a half day sub or a half day, that's the minimum they can put in. So they can put in a half day because we then have to get a sub for them. So it's not like I want to put in for 9 to 10 because I have a doctor's appointment. Well, if they leave at 9, come back at 10, we don't have a sub that we can say, hey, can you come in from 9 to 10? We will call in a sub, and that sub will work from 8 to noon, the half day. So it's making sure that when you take any type of time off in that regard, that you're taking either a half day or a full day. Those are your 2 options for instructional staff. When any position that requires a substitute. Another one is based on some HR training that we went to this year. There was a line on the classified evaluation that talks about just an overview of meeting the performance standard. This employee meets the performance standards, yes or no checkbox. They said that's not a good line to have in there. We recommend you remove it. And you've checked all the boxes for satisfactory or unsatisfactory on the previous parts of the evaluation. So that was just a recommendation from the state. Wayne Young said that's not a good line to have in there. So we're heeding his advice and recommending for that removal of that line. And then as we just had our most recent voluntary transfer request, we looked at our voluntary transfer policy, and we looked at our procedure, and they didn't align. So we're recommending the removal of the voluntary transfer procedure part because it works contrary to the policy. The policy says request made to superintendent. That request is made. We don't need the procedure. So you can take a look at that and see the difference between the 2. So those are the Beechwood changes that we've kind of identified throughout the course of the year. Then you have the KSBA changes, and I'll go brief on these because you'll have time to go over them. Display of the Bill of Rights in the building. Board chair and vice chair is a term decided by the board up to 2 years. Superintendent and admin can't get a raise that exceeds classroom teacher. There are a few reasons or waivers why you could. You can read those of what circumstances may allow for it, but in general, admin and superintendent cannot get a raise that exceeds the raise of classroom teachers. So, the percentage. Upon hiring, so this is for us, it impacts us. It says when we do a reference check, the current employer is required to disclose any disciplinary action or misconduct. So what do we have to do? Upon hire, when we check our references and we ask those sending schools of a potential employee, is there any misconduct? Is there any disciplinary action that they're undergoing? They're required to share that with us. We are required to share it with them. So that is now policy.
That's good.
Yes. We're working, and this week I'm going to go talk more with other superintendents and districts of what they're going to do around the van drivers. They're trying to say that, well, they're saying that van drivers are going to be classified kind of as bus drivers. They're going to follow the same type of requirements that a bus driver would need with not CDL, but the testing requirements, the training requirements, some of those things.
To drive our new passenger vans that we just got?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
So let's say an IA is like, I gotta take these 6 kids over to here today. That IA might have to go through the same training and testing requirements as full-time bus drivers. So we'll see. I wanna see what other districts are gonna do, how they're gonna word it. There might be a little ability for local control to come and say, well, yes, we're gonna limit the extent, around the extent in which we can require. So we'll see. And I'll do that work this week when I'm with the rest of the other districts. Trainings, there's some updates to trainings, mandatory required trainings that we're gonna have to do for all staff related to the grooming bill around appropriate relationships, communication with students and appropriate relationships. So that training will be added to our list of trainings that is required by all staff, or required for all staff. Bids go from 40,000 for an RFP to 50,000, so you get a little 10,000. And every 5 years after this, it's going to go up another 10,000. I think they're just accounting for inflation.
Yeah.
Costs will go up. On the website, we have to disclose our financial statements. Christy's going to make sure that we are compliant in that, so that's a policy here. Budget timeline. We already follow the timeline, but they set forth another timeline. I think the key to this little adjustment is that you guys have to know about the budget 2 weeks prior to the approval that exists that will occur at that board meeting. So let's say the September board meeting where we approve a working budget, the board is required to get that working budget 2 weeks prior to that September 30 date. Or not September 30 date, the September board meeting, which would be sometime early September. So you would need that working budget near the end of August.
Is that gonna be a challenge? Okay.
Yeah.
The
There already
turnaround
is a challenge to actually get it done, actually sometimes by the board meeting date, because we
That's
don't
what
meet
I'm
before September 30th, or we don't meet we meet early in September. So it's very hard to do that, but.
Would that be, then, would that be wise to bump the September board meeting until later in the month for that month? To give us more gap between what occurs in August, get that budget set, then get it to the board 2 weeks prior to them.
Really all stems from when we approve the tax rate. Really, that's really what it stems on. So it's been hard sometimes to get our stuff together to even present
Because we don't get
in
the
August
information.
for a tax hearing, you know what I'm saying? Because of when you get the information from the state and stuff like that, it trickles down to us, but
So we'll talk about that.
as we get closer to it, we'll know more, like at the end of July, beginning of August, we'll know whether we need to push September's meeting, we can make the decision
Great.
in August,
Okay.
right?
Well, when we get to July, and we start to set the dates for the year, I think we can talk about that.
Okay.
Science, of reading is coming up by June of 2029. Science of reading for all K through 5 teachers. They're going to have to go through that training. Good thing is, most of our teachers are trained in that already. So if we, or when, we have to get them upskilled in that, it shouldn't be an issue, but that's just new. Another new one, and that I'll be talking with superintendents, and Lauren will be talking with other DOSs, special education directors, is around this dyslexia. It's around the screening, identification, and intervention on students with dyslexia, to have things in place to allow us to support those kiddos, and that's now part of the policy. Writing program, which is really in line with some of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, but a writing program. Every district must have a policy and a program. We have those. I know elementary definitely has one in SBDM, their SBDM policy for elementary, but we're going to make sure that those are aligned. So that's a new one. There's a religious beliefs excusal where a parent can fill out a procedural form on excusing themselves from some sort of content based on religious beliefs. Traceable communications, nothing major there. The only thing now is from last year to this year, everything's going to be the same. The only thing now is a staff member can fill out a form to say, hey, I'm working at this place where this student works. We might communicate. So a teacher can bring that to the table. And then I'll share this with you. It'll be on the dashboard. In-service training for board members. Brad, you were just going to be so sad to miss this.
I'm going to attend anyway.
It's just a lot of not additional things, but some just adjustments to the training schedule, what you have to do. So I'll put that on the dashboard. It's just long.
Okay. Great.
All right. So those are kind of just the major impacts.
Great.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah. So that was policy updates and procedure?
That
or
was
just
policy and procedure.
Okay, good. Then we're just moving right along.
There you go.
Okay. So next is our consent agenda. So I'd like to take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Take the motion.
Second.
Great. Any discussion on the consent agenda?
Do we go back and do the procedural on the first read, or we go? We're good.
It's a first read. That's a
Yeah, so-
notice for everyone to know that there's changes to be made.
Great.
Anything on the consent agenda you want to talk through?
I'll go through real quick. A good one is the Read to Achieve grant that we got. It's $140,000 over the course of 2 years. $70,000 a year will go towards helping us pay the interventionists. That'll go towards the reading interventionist. That used to be paid with Title II. Now that title money will now be used to help us with the math interventionist. So we can cover both of those. One with the reading grant, one with the title. Perkins, just the consortium that we're part of, that allows us to get professional learning for those teachers that are CTE. The bond depository agreement, that's just our agreement with Heritage. Simple
It's an
boilerplate.
annual agreement, yeah.
Guardian Angel extra days, those teachers over at Guardian are required 20 extra days through CECSAC. And so we've always paid them those extra 20 days. We're just formalizing it. So just we're getting approval from the board that we're allowed to pay them their daily rate for those 20 days, but that's always occurred. They always work those days. The fees for high school, elementary, just things of note in the fees. The tech fee has gone up from 85 to 92. So we saw a $7 increase in the tech fee. To give perspective on this, which I think is important to the community, is that the Chromebooks have gone up in cost from $432 to $633 per Chromebook.
Over what time period?
Last year to this
A
year.
year?
Yes. You've got
Holy moly.
AI impact, you've got the war impact,
Yeah.
you've got a lot that's impacting the cost on these things. So what that is, it's a 47% increase in cost. The $7 increase is obviously not
Not
47%. But I'll say this, that last year, when the Chromebook was $432 and families were paying the $85, they were paying 79% of the cost of the Chromebook over the course of the 4 years. With this new system and them only going up $7 instead of that larger cost, their cost of, so they're going from 79 down to 42. They were paying 79% of the cost, now they're going down to 42. The district was paying 21% of the cost, going up to 58. So we're taking on more of the bill, I guess you say, for the Chromebook, but they are seeing an increase in their fees, but not at the rate in which we've seen the increase in the cost of the Chromebook. So just to make sure people know, like, we're not just charging you more because Chromebooks gone up, we're charging you not near the rate, you know? You will see on elementary school fees, and I know some people will really like this, the field trip fees. So Zach and Alicia got with all the teachers and looked at what are the field trips going to be in these grade levels, and they set a particular fee per grade level based on the predicted field trips for the year. So everybody can pay their fees through IC. There's no nickel and dime. There's no giving your first grader cash to bring to school to give to the teacher to do all that. So that's all streamlined. So the only one they're kind of waiting on, because they don't know what they're going to do for the year, I think is 6th grade.
Sure.
So, but every grade has their built-in field trip fees into their school fees so that everybody can pay through IC. So it doesn't happen 4 or 5 times a year where they get asked to pay. And then high school, the reason they don't do that in high school is because grade levels are so different. If I'm a 9th grader, I'm going to be in so many different classes than another 9th grader, so there's not this uniform fee for grade level. That's why it's different in high school. Other than that, Thomas More, MOU, that's dual credit. Surplus of art textbooks, just old art textbooks. The booster funded stipend position, we just wanted to make sure that all the monies to pay any band position ran through the school. So this position runs through the school, but the boosters are funding it, the band boosters. We just wanted to make sure anybody who's paid by Beechwood is through our system, not the booster system.
Yeah.
They were being paid directly by the boosters. And we wanted to make sure we're compliant with Red Book. We can get background checks, we can do all the appropriate paperwork. So that's why you see that there. That they wanted to add that position, but they're funding it. That's it for consent.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Hurd.
Yep.
Mrs. Wood.
Yes. Okay. Superintendent's report.
All right. The first part of the superintendent's report will be the capstone. Everybody's been waiting for. Matt and Scott are back there really excited about this.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is as part of KASA. I'm in cohort 14. It's all new superintendents go through a year-long professional development around leadership in the superintendent's role. It's been a great experience. I've spent several days down in Frankfurt with other new superintendents all around timely professional learning that aligns to kind of where you're at in the year of a superintendent, through what board meetings are coming up, what items are coming up through legislation. So it's been a great kind of support system to lean on as you go through your first year as a superintendent. You can see that the 5 areas that we focus on are culture, HR, instruction, operations, and strategic planning. I'll go through now to show some of the things that we've accomplished this year in each one of those areas, along with some evidence. So go for it.
You have to click.
Oh, I have a clicker. Yeah, beautiful. PGP. The PGP aligns to this capstone, aligns to a lot of the work we've done. 2 major parts of the PGP. The first one was strategic leadership. And you can see there, that's one of them. Strategic is the last one at the top. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but strategic leadership was basically, PGP is, I wanted to develop a 3-year strategic plan. We were able to do that. And I'll go into that here in a minute. The other part was communication and transparency to implement or to foster a more collaborative environment within the school system, to see better elementary, high school collaboration, and collaboration with partners within our community and our parents. So That was the other goal, and so you'll be able to see later on some evidence in both of those areas of communication and transparency and strategic leadership. Cultural leadership. Some things that have occurred this year as part of making, not just making Beechwood's culture better, but showing how great the culture already is. We've done some improvement, but we have great culture, and that's not necessarily anything I've done directly. That's just part of the community in which we all get to exist, and so I think it's a great testament to where we're at. So just some really cool accomplishments. Proud of the 3 Ps meetings I was able to do with every single staff member in the district. I love the 3 Ps, Superintendent Award. The 2x2s with board members was awesome. I'd like to do that again next year. The board share outs, every time we had a board meeting, we shared out one of the pillars. So you guys got to see. So a lot of the stuff, normally you may not typically know. You're gonna know a lot of the stuff because of those share outs that we did every month with the pillars and the innovation teams. Just the P12 collaboration that has existed this year, from Guardian Angel over here to elementary to high school, just a lot of engagement in our staff working with each other across buildings. Tiger Nation podcast, very proud of that. Make fun of it, but I like it. And then just Education Foundation, their support. And you talk about culture, that closing day with that staff, and that was pretty special to see. I don't know if you get that, K-12, a full district where everybody knows kind of the story that they're being told. It was pretty special that evening, or that morning. You look at some extracurricular things that occurred this year that just continue to improve the culture. I will say about culture, if you saw that little video with Sawyer Carlisle, baseball.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw it on.
we talk about balance all the time. They just basically talk about the culture of Beechwood as balance. You look at the academics and the extracurriculars, and above that, just the character in which those kids carry themselves. I was just proud to be a part of it. And so, you talk about culture, I think that little video showed a lot of what the culture of Beechwood's all about. Just the list goes on. You see all the good stuff here. Staff culture survey. Last year to this year, have you seen improvement in school culture? 95.2, yes. Last year to this year, has transparency improved? 97.6. And then communication, 97.6. So that was a staff survey. Just some pieces of evidence. See top left, you got the biannual report, which we've got to talk about for July retreat, to start to work on that, to get it out for August. Return to school to do our biannual report. So you look at the 3 Ps awards from Mr. Murphy, you look at the girls volleyball, you look at kind of a year in review at the bottom, you look at the communication. That seemed to get good responses this year. Like, if you have something, please reach out to us. I don't feel like there was much Facebook chatter in regards to negativity. We constantly tried to redirect that back to the school if they wanted to ask us a question. HR leadership. Very proud of the work that the team did, especially Christy, Sarah, around working with the board and the budget committee to look at that step +6 for that. You look at HR, you look at our staff, you look at our retention and our recruitment. That's a game changer. I think that's pretty monumental. So again, a thank you to the board for making that happen. Just some new great hires, board policy updates, the amount of work that went into Power School with Natalie, Sarah, the team, to make sure that Power School, that our hiring and onboarding processes are streamlined and efficient. It's a ton of work. So great there. Central office restructuring, the new teacher program that we have embedded, new board attorney. Success.
There you go.
And just some other items in there. Some of the hirings, the new staff up top, just how we promote open positions. That bottom left, those graphs and all that's some of the feedback we get through Power School. So it gives us some data around hiring and onboarding. So you see there. There's the letter up there, the RFP that got us to the new board attorney. Oh, and here we got a new football coach. Just heard.
Can Allison take back her maiden name?
Oh, you don't like the last name fine?
Find it.
Like Kellerman. All right, instructional leadership. Long list of instructional. I mean, it's one of our strengths here at Beechwood. A bit, I mean, ACT to SAT and maybe SAT back to ACT. They just keep flip-flopping on us. So we'll know in October. Senior defenses of learning, just awesome. Defenses of learning across the board, 6th, 8th, 12th grade. Look at 3 national merit finalists, Ed Rising state champs, first ethics bowl at Beechwood. They made it to the finals. The Young Investors Society got 25 grand. Just pretty amazing stuff. So very proud of what we do academically at Beechwood. It speaks for itself. Governor Scholar, GSA. Real good. Niche, number 1 in the state. 77.8 pass rate for the AP. 5-star in preschool. All of our teachers and all the awards that they've gotten. Miss Seifert with the Achievement Award. She's one of 3 high school teachers. She's one of the 9 finalists in the state of Kentucky. It's a pretty big deal.
Very impressive.
Tap House with the Golden Apple. All the staff going to conferences and presenting. I loved our district instructional rounds. So once a month we got together as a district cabinet and we went out and we did our visits to classrooms to give feedback to teachers around specific areas. More instructional. Edge 13 work about what are we doing for those students that are getting ready to go to college. I can't wait to see that expand to that year 13 to bridge the gap as students leave Beechwood and go into post-secondary. GT Services, PTP, the work of that team has been incredible. The broadcasts that have started. You look at the elementary work around MTSS and the ability to implement and improve drastically this year. But that was great. Support their teachers in that implementation. Just collaboration again, I said that earlier. Just a couple of news articles there. Get the blue highest ratings across the board. Who, did you put that in there? Sarah puts things in that I do not request.
He's embarrassed.
The picture yourself.
Great picture.
Really proud. See that top middle one? This one's really awesome. So we, for the past few years, have wanted to take the EDGE program and have this kind of culminating experience for any kid that goes through 3 years of a minor. Say on the back end, you're going to do an undergraduate level product of some research. You're going to do college level research and you're going to present that. And so we're able to create a class, an AP research class led by Mrs. Malott, who was out this year. Ms. Demko came in and filled in fantastically. But I do want to give kudos to the high school of getting this to come to fruition. If you go out to the hallway, the ramp that leads from this area up to the cafeteria has some of the most impressive high school research I've seen. It is polished. We're going to put together a booklet every year, an annual program of research at Beechwood to share out with the community, say, look what our kids can do. It's pretty awesome. So half of it, I don't quite understand what they're talking about, but it's impressive. And I'm really proud of the work those kids did, the teachers did, and the leadership did to guide that. So operations leadership, maintenance budget process, just some things in the maintenance, just some bigger items that occurred there. Tech budget program, I mean, you look at the Chromebooks to the cell service was a huge one. You ask teachers, that's a home run there. They like the cell service.
Yes.
Yes. It's good. Just the tech team dealing with everything. The new building came online, all the work this summer. Just a lot of work there. They are constantly improving this place. So I really appreciate their work. Kitchen, from making sure that they provide food every day to make sure all the equipment runs. And so just between Brian Booth and Brian Weaver in the maintenance department, Tim and Brandon in the technology, then Rachel and her team. I meet with them weekly with Tim and Ryan, but monthly with Rachel to be able to make sure that we have the best equipment, we have the best facilities, we have the best kind of support to make sure that we're meeting the needs of each one of those areas. Then construction oversight and operations, obviously, you know, all the stuff that I give updates on that, you can see it. And so working with Codell, working with Joe Hayes, architect, working with the maintenance team, the teachers, and all the impacts that we ask the teachers to kind of hold their breath until it's all over with. It's fun doing all that work. Finance-wise, working with Christy, primarily just for me, more to learn from her, learn with her on how it all works, how it all fits together. To be able to go through that deeply this year, not just once a week, but maybe 3 or 4 times a week for the course of 7 or 8 months to truly create a sustainable, safe process of going forward with all of our facilities and all of our support for staff. This is probably the work I'm one of the pieces of work I'm most proud of, and that's a testament to be able to do that with Christy and Sarah and the team. So a lot of good decisions there, and all those decisions right there and looking deeply and all that is a result of being able to give our teachers, giving them a step towards being competitive. So you see there's some construction, and you see the restructuring and some of the savings that we were able to get this year. Then you see the regional impact on a step plus 6 and how we've taken some steps forward to parking at Kroger. We got more spots next year than we've ever had. So I negotiated some things there. And then a beautiful front lawn with 4 beautiful trees. Strategic leadership, you can see the new 3-year strategic plan. That was a big pull, and to get that from start to finish is great. End of year 1, excited for year 2 of that. Innovation teams that align directly to that. The AI guidelines that fall within one of those innovation teams. I'm working on Tiger GPT to see if we can scale that from Bearcat GPT down into Beechwood. I don't know if that's possible, but we'll see. We got a meeting with UC on that. The AI summit, looking at strategy. AI is a huge piece. It's a huge component of what school looks like in the next 2-3 minutes versus 2 to 3 years. So being able to participate in the AI summit and lead that work for the region, but also being part of Cincy AI Week next week to develop network and partnerships around what could we do from an education standpoint. Being part of the University of Cincinnati AI Grant Partnership, where they're working with leadership here to instill some of the skills necessary for leadership to guide some of the work so that the staff isn't just like, here's AI, deal with it. I think the push behind that is to make sure that we understand it as leaders within the district first. Staff leadership innovation team, building leaders within Beechwood. You got the dashboard that we're continuing to work on for local accountability. Some of the other things that have occurred, all the districts that we've seen. So from strategy, it looks like that we are being a leader in strategy with all the people that are coming to see Beechwood and see what we're doing here. Some other areas of strategy, hit on some of them already. I won't talk about myself at the bottom. Strategic evidence, you can see some evidence there that linked. You can click on those links and see that. This will be shared out at the end of the meeting. You've seen a lot of those videos throughout the course of this year on the board meetings. You see the budget committee's work down bottom left. Superintendent advisory in regards to strategic leadership, making sure we provide opportunities for feedback. They were very well attended this year. We need a bigger room, I think. The TLC was not large enough for those. District newsletter, proud of that work, making sure that we're putting out communications in a variety of areas to make sure that everybody feels like they're getting their information and the best avenue that they feel is appropriate for them. You look at a lot of our surveys that have gone out to get feedback. All right, so next steps. So those are the 5 areas of leadership. Here are some next steps. This is what we're looking forward to for next year. We're going to use all the data. We're going to use our surveys. We're going to use board input, SBDM input, and that will all drive what we're going to talk about at board retreat. Board retreat then drives what we talk about at cabinet retreat. Cabinet retreat will drive what we do in professional learning to impact students in the classroom. That's our normal cadence of operations, and that's what we'll do again this year. Some of the things that we want to work on: competitive salaries, continued progress there, development of my PGP for year 2. I'm going to focus on year 2 of the 3-year strategic plan, which will be part of that work at the first bullet. That will drive then what innovation teams we have for next year. I talked about a little bit around the targeted academic focus for high school and elementary. We sought feedback from the board, from SBDM. We did at the end of the year for staff. What areas do we want to see us focus on for next year, specifically academics, and how can we get better? And so that will drive some of the work of board retreat, cabinet retreat, and then it will wrap around in that professional learning to impact student learning in the classroom. Construction completion punch list. We're going to do the DFP in the fall, and that will drive our facilities improvement for the next several years. So that work begins in the fall. Administration, new administration high school office. So there will be some definite intentional mentorship there for next year. The local accountability dashboard, we'll continue to do the work around that. I will be the NKCES president, so there'll be some work that I'll have to pull for next year as we go through that. That'll be new for me. We got accepted into the innovation cohort for the Association of School Superintendents. It's a national organization, and we are 4-member team on the innovation cohort, in which our first spot will be to visit a school district in Utah. Second spot is to visit a school, I think, outside of Cleveland or Columbus. And then in year 2, they come visit us. So we're this large group of district personnel from different districts across the country in regard to learning how to innovate. And so it's called the innovation cohort. So that'll be a 2-year, it's a 2-year cohort. And then looking into, and we're just on the tip of the iceberg in this work, is looking at what does LED look like for the lighting that we have in here, but what does that look like campus-wide to save us money? And so we've just done the first initial steps in that, and we'll learn more about that between now and July. So that's next year, just a few of the things. This is just a letter to everybody. I'll read it aloud, but it just says, this experience pushed my thinking, improved my leadership, reinforced the importance of governance, relationships, and purpose-driven work in leading a school district. One of the most impactful aspects of this journey has been the intentional work to build and strengthen foundational systems that will move our district forward. From deeply learning and tightening financial practices to ensure responsible stewardship, to aligning communication structures and creating clarity in how we operate. These are the foundations that make long-term success possible. Sustainable improvement doesn't come from isolated initiatives. It comes from consistent, aligned systems that support our people, protect resources, and keep the focus where it belongs, on kiddos. I'm especially grateful for the individuals who played a role in my growth throughout this process. Scott Hawkins, executive coach, for his guidance, perspective, and steady leadership throughout the journey he's here tonight. And Dr. Matt Baker, mentor, for his insight, support, and commitment to helping me grow as a superintendent. And Dr. Baker is also here tonight as well. I also want to recognize those who continue to make this work possible every day. You guys, Board of Education. From July of last year to now, it seems longer. And I know that I've worn you out with meetings, and a lot of meetings. Brad has wanted more, but I said no, we can only do so much. But you guys being patient with me. I do truly thank you for being patient with me and really doing great work for this place. And I'm proud of that, and it wouldn't have happened without you guys, so much thanks there. Our district cabinet, you guys that I also put through a lot of meetings and listen to me. So basically what I do right now for the past 45 minutes, feel like I'm talking, that's what I do to everybody. So welcome to the party, I guess you would say. But thank you to the cabinet for not listening to me, but actually driving the excellence, actually being the leaders in that. And it's not from me to you, it's more of like you to the team saying, here's how I think we could be better. That's what we've always wanted. That's what I've always wanted out of a team. I don't see you as colleagues, I see you, or as like those that I supervise, I see you as colleagues, those who are right on the same page and at the same level with me. So thank you. The KSA leadership team, from Nanette to all the staff to all the other new superintendents that you get to kind of lean on and talk through some war stories with and gives you perspective when you go down there. Thank you to them. Then, I mean, the Beechwood community, our partners in the community, their continued collaboration, them supporting the kids that get sent here every day, that make us look really good every day. We don't do any of this stuff without our families in Beechwood. And then the students, the kiddos, they never cease to amaze me. I wish I could be in the classroom with them every day and see what our teachers see, but I'm happy to be able to facilitate a place that allows our teachers and our kids to work together. So it's special because of them. And then my family, my wife and kids who have to deal with the time constraints and all the stuff that comes into the job. So they allow me to do the work. So thank you to them. So grateful for the opportunity to grow through this process and excited to continue building on this work in service of our students, staff, and community next year. Thank you.
Great work.
I'd like to thank you for getting, I feel like since you've come on board, the board is more involved, the staff is more involved, the administration is more involved, so you're doing a good job.
Thank you, sir.
And obviously there was a lot in there that, has taken place in a year. The thing that stuck out to me the most is the staff saying 97% cultural improvement in 1 year. If you're proud of anything that you had up there tonight, I hope it's that people are happier to come to work every single day.
Awesome. Thank you.
I echo both of those sentiments. The experience on the board, I know that my time has been brief, but there's definitely been just an improvement in communication, collaboration, and all of that, and we're just doing a great job.
Communication is the key.
Yeah, so appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Anything else I need to do? This is new to me.
No, I just want to commend the board. The most important job you have is who you're going to hire as a superintendent, because you don't get a do-over. You have to get it right, and I think you all got it right. It's been a pleasure for me to walk alongside Justin this year, and he's an outstanding young man. He is very sincere, and what I've been impressed with is his heart, and his heart for this school district and his heart for this community. And when people see your heart, they will follow.
That's right.
And so I think even greater things are in store for Beechwood. So kudos to you all for a job well done. And Justin, same to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know what to say that Scott hasn't already said, but I'll just say you didn't hit a home run, you hit a grand slam. Board members, fantastic. Mr. Kaiser was supposed to learn from me. I learned more from him this year, I assure you. And I say this knowing full well Beechwood's tradition of excellence, your reputation for that across the state. I think Beechwood's best days are ahead, not behind.
And I think we're better with him. We're going to do better.
I agree.
I don't like hearing this stuff.
Expectations are high.
I like to hear you. Okay.
Okay, great. All right.
All right.
Oh, we got that video now, don't we?
Superintendent report. Let me think. See if there's anything else.
I'm gonna have video.
Real quick. Yep. Now it's time for the culture video.
Okay.
And so, just to preface real quick, a few years back we did a We Are Beechwood video to kind of give primarily like people just a little taste of what Beechwood's all about, what it's like. This kind of hits upon that again. In the fall, we're gonna do like a day in the life video of what Beechwood actually looks like. This is kind of just the overview of what we are Beechwood. We had some great staff, but a lot of the staff in the old video aren't here anymore, so we're like, let's update it with some people that if someone does come to Beechwood or we have a new family, a new kindergartner, that family can kind of get a taste of what it's all about here.
Just after sunrise, our home looks its best. The morning sun, the quiet solitude, the vintage red brick. Elvis the Tiger soaks in even more spotlight than normal.
Everything that I have been raised to be today has all came through Beechwood.
Yeah, it's hard to explain Beechwood from the outside looking in. I think it's just such a unique, special place that if you've been here, you know how lucky you are to be a Beechwood Tiger.
For generations dating back to the Civil War, the Tigers who have come before have shown us the way, thriving here thanks to a perfect blend of expectation and empathy. The community feels like a second family. Husbands and wives meet here and then send their children to Beechwood, and on it goes through the generations.
We are the Richies, and we have an identical love for Beechwood.
Going here as a student and being here now, it changes the way I see the world. Because I think that if the world could look a little bit more like Beechwood, then it'd be a better place.
Good morning, Beechwood High School. It's going to be a great day.
When you're in it, you have like a support system for life, honestly.
We are Beechwood.
A lot of great people that will like help you with anything you need. It's what makes it so special. Everyone's super involved in everything and kind of just really close.
It really is the center of our community. Whether you are a current student, a former student, or whether you were never a student here, you still go to Beechwood. It still means something to you. It's part of our community. It's part of who we are.
My name is Miles Wolfick, and we are Beechwood.
You take the statement, we are Beechwood, and how do you break that down? What does that mean? And how does that go into a day in the life? And I think it starts with the Beechwood Way.
It's an awesome place and an awesome community with a bunch of awesome people, and everyone cares for each other, and teachers are awesome.
I think Beechwood is kind of a step ahead in every area. So we really are growing in academics. We are growing with our EDGE program. We are growing in our sports and our extracurriculars.
We just totally believe that every kid, no matter who they are, no matter where they're from, that they deserve the same opportunities and they deserve to be loved and seen and valued.
I just sleep at home. I live here at Beechwood. I love being here on this campus. I love being around the students. I love being around the staff.
This is a tight-knit place because of all the people have invested here. They invest their lives, they invest their activities, their education. This is where they're here with their friendships too. It's a place where everyone comes together, it's where they live.
We all have one goal, and that's just we love Beechwood, and we all want to bring the best out of each other.
We are Beechwood.
That's great. Where will that be shared?
We will put that on social media. It'll be on the website.
Okay.
Like coming to Beechwood or want to know more. It'll be kind of like just a, hopefully a brief picture of what to expect here. It's good.
Awesome.
And the Ritchie twins were in there.
I love that.
So cute.
All right.
All
A couple
right.
other things. Finance report, Christy.
Well, I'm just gonna highlight, you can see the report, nothing unexpected still, we're still anticipating a surplus at the end of the year that we'll be able to manage some of the set-asides or whatever we wanna do relative to maintaining the building and things like that, so, that's good, and programs, I should say.
A couple other items. Baseball team made it to the quarters, lost to Trinity, but they gave valiant effort. Won the region, 5th time in 7 years. It's pretty impressive. I don't know of many baseball teams that have done that ever. Construction update. You see the press box keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You've got the concession stand, the brick is going on that. The press box will also get that same brick. We've got the steps that lead up the ramp One little change order will be coming down the pipe around getting a curb on those steps, so that when water comes down, it'll hit the curb and run down and not go over the steps. So I foresee that coming here in the next couple of weeks. Maintenance shed will be going up. The tennis courts should be finished and resurfaced. The lights are up there. Track gets asphalt this week, then resurfaced over dead period. Should be good to go. Then the bleachers go in. They're already starting to take out the middle section of bleachers to put the new ones in for the seated bleachers. And then you'll have 2 extensions coming up on each side of the press box. And the playground you can already see that. It's monstrosity. But that'll get that soft surfacing once the other construction's done. And then they'll start on the hillside in regards to putting big, large sandstone or limestone rocks for that seating, that terrace seating on that hillside over there by the tennis courts. So that's construction. Do you remember the Stand Energy that we did for the natural gas? That saved us $3,500 in 4 months. So the decision to do that has saved us some money in just 4 months. We need to talk about at some point board retreat in July, and then if we want to do working session June 22nd or not. So just put that in your ear. And then Fast Signs is either tomorrow or the next day. They said would have the mock-ups on the archway to say Home of the Tigers or Beechwood Tigers, same exact materials and everything. So. Once I get those, I'll just shoot you an email and attach that to it so you can take a look at it.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I got.
Great. Next item is I need a motion to enter into closed session for superintendent evaluation discussion.
Motion. Second.
Thank you all.
See you guys.